It's the day after Christmas, and I'm feeling reflective. Do you think the whole idea of retirement is dumb, as I do? You will if you view or listen to this episode. Episode 127. Is that all there is? And giving the world the finger. When I was 20 or so, there was a lifetime promise offered. Get a good job, then work hard with long hours for 40 years with all the corporate bullshit and pressure at a job you probably won't like, and then you get to retire with monthly Social Security and pensions payment. Retirement meant doing old people stuff like pickleball, bingo, and daytime TV, and for getting together at McDonald's with other old farts every morning, regurgitating what we saw on Fox News last night. And of course, good things like spending time with your grandkids. But the worst part of retirement will be getting patronized, becoming irrelevant and invisible, and then you die. As the song goes, is that all there is? If that's all there is, my friend, then let's keep dancing. Let's break out the booze and have a ball. If that's all there is. You will not be literally invisible, but you will be professionally, culturally, and economically invisible. No one will care what you think. Here's what nobody told you about retirement. It's actually designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore. Today's retirement model was built in the 50s when people died at 68. You worked until 65, then became invisible, enjoyed 3 years of who knows what, and then you croaked. Except now, we live 30 years longer. That's not a small thing. That's a second career. And it could be an interesting one, and one you could choose yourself. So don't waste it watching daytime television, going to bingo, and thinking your life is over. The systems figured that we are giving you pensions and health care, so disappear already. It also assumes you do not matter. It thinks you are useless. It assumes your brain has stopped working. Today, most retirees act like there is a past due stamp inked on their asses. We need to look at the demographics. Every year, over 4 million Americans will turn 65 in 2026. Globally, 1 in 3 adults will soon be over 50. This group already controls more than half of all consumer spending. This isn't a niche, it's an entire market. The longevity economy, us, is worth $15 trillion globally, and it's growing faster than any other segment. Yet almost every product, service, and marketing campaign currently is still designed for young people, hooked on gaming and vaping and TikTok, and they live in their mother's basement. I'm saying this while I'm still figuring it out. At 86, my brain still works. I use artificial intelligence, AI, not because it's trendy, but because it's useful. I am curious, purposeful, and mentally alive, yet the world wants me to have an expired label. I think the world is full of people my age trying to figure out what age has to do with being a useful, productive citizen. The world is also full of folks in trouble, kids needing help, disintegrating families, handicapped people needing assistance, and problems that require loving and experienced older people to help solve. I did not drink the Kool-Aid. I washed the buy before stamp off my nether regions. I still have lots of things to say, problems I can solve, people I can help, skills I've spent decades refining. I worked until I was 84, then I closed my industrial machinery business and sold my commercial building. I am still not fully retired at 86 because it makes no sense. I still run the nonprofit free pregnancy center that I have run for 44 years. In 2024, I created an online video course on how to be a certain kind of entrepreneur. And in 2025, I created this podcast with 134 episodes and counting. Also, I am now widowed, but I continue to attend live theater, opera, and music events with interesting women. Yet, if I had let it, retirement would have declared me irrelevant. Think about other older, accomplished Americans who continue to contribute to our world. How about President Donald Trump, who is 79, financier Jamie Dimon, who is 70, actor Harrison Ford, who is 83, astronaut Buzz Aldrin, who is 95, Senator Chuck Grassley, who is 87, composer John Williams, who was 88, and media giant Rupert Murdoch, who was 89. I get it that not all older folks apply to this thought process. Some of us need to continue to work because Social Security doesn't pay enough, or maybe they just like their job. It is now not only hypothetical but possible that retired engineers, salesmen, teachers, managers, scientists, and others can begin to organize their experience and their knowledge and make it pay online. All done without bank loans and venture capitalists. Right now, almost every system, education, work, pensions, and healthcare, is calibrated for 20th century lifespans. But we're living in the 21st century with 30 extra years, and nobody gave us an instruction manual. Do you want to drift into boredom and irrelevance just when you become capable of doing your own best work? I think we could see the biggest social shift since the Industrial Revolution. Superannuated people with loads of talent and experience, building second acts from home and contributing on their own terms and earning a living from what they know. It's absurd. We've built an economy that worships inexperience and ignores the people who actually know what we are talking about. There's a big discount. Ronald Reagan said it best. Quote, I want you to know that I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience, unquote. Those of us old farts who reject those younger folks who currently dismiss us as irrelevant should give them the middle finger. What happens when a generation that built this modern world learns to use AI, not as a politic, not to generate mediocre blogs, but to teach, create, and contribute in ways that weren't possible 5 years ago? We're not technologically illiterate. We built the internet. We invented most of the systems younger people now take for granted. We just prefer tools designed for clarity instead of chaos, and purpose instead of distraction. The only question is whether you will participate in this. If you was over 60 and viewing or listening to this, you've probably thought some of what I have just said. So do not slow down. Do not step aside. You matter. Because the alternative, becoming irrelevant, is far worse for you and for future generations. This is Rod Murphy. Thank you for viewing or listening to my YouTube and podcast episodes. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed them, please hit the subscribe button. It does not cost you anything, and it helps me to grow my audience. Again, my thanks.